Okay, let's see how we can do this. Let's go to go to 1 Samuel. Now I want y'all to get this. I'm gonna take my time, and I just want you to get this understanding. 1 Samuel. First Samuel 15, and when you get to verse 22, let's give it an amen. 1 Samuel 15 and 22. And Samuel said, "Hath the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord?" Okay, you got to get it now. There's two things he said. "Hath the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices." Now we're in Bible study now. Burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord. Burnt offerings and sacrifices and obeying the voice of the Lord. Burnt offerings and sacrifices and obeying the voice of the Lord. So I'm painting two pictures, okay? There's two things that's happening. Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. Let's stop right there. Now we've heard this scripture for years, but nobody never told you what it means. Okay? To obey is better than sacrifice. Now see, this it's not mystical, but it's spiritual. It's hidden knowledge. And if you don't come to terms with your faith, with that which you believe, if you don't come true to it, salvation will pass you by. You're going to be going through the motions. You're going to be a shell, not really having it, if you don't come to terms with your belief. So watch it now, watch it. To obey is better than sacrifice. Okay? Let's deal with that. To obey is better than sacrifice. Here's the point. The reason why to obey is better than sacrifice, because in both situations, both scenarios, you're doing something. The end result is the same. But you did one through obeying, and then you did the other through sacrifice. Oh, let's go get you. Okay, go ahead.
Can you sacrifice? Can you obey? If you obey, you gonna sacrifice. But you can sacrifice without obeying, can't you?
What? We gotta understand it the way it was. He said to obey is better than sacrifice. So sacrifice not connected to obeying.
So what is sacrifice? I know what obey would be. But
I mean, do we really know what obey would be?
Obey would like be by the Spirit, and sacrifice would be by the flesh.
Okay. Obeying would be by the Spirit. And sacrifice would be by the flesh. Okay, y'all keep that. Obeying would be by the Spirit. Sacrificing would be by the flesh. Okay, watch this. And Samuel said, hath the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord. Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry, because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, he hath also rejected thee from being king. You keep on living a sacrificial life. You're doing right under the spirit of sacrificing. You're in the flesh. And when you do something and it's under the spirit of a sacrifice, it's just like rebellion. Okay, I'm showing you how God looking at your sacrifice. I'm not sacrificing nothing. I'm obedient. God said, that's the way it is. But wait a minute now. You know, what if I have a problem with it? You got a problem with it? Well, I'm gonna do it, because I want to be right. So I'm just gonna go on sacrifice. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. And you do it, and you blending in with everybody else that's doing it. But somebody did it in obedience, and you did it by sacrifice. We don't want to understand this stuff. You supposedly done submitted to God, but yet you have a problem with the things of God. That is not how it's supposed to be. That is not how spiritual maturity don't come through a sacrifice. It comes through obedience. If you sacrificing, you just passing time. Yeah. And you have an attitude every time something come up. Because flesh gonna check it. Then it's gonna go ahead and do it. Because all flesh wanna do is just keep you in that same state while you think you're doing the will of God. I'm telling you what the scriptures say. He just and I'm just giving you the understanding. He said, for rebellion. Why do you jump to rebellion, Lord? Because he just said, okay, sacrifice, to obey is better than sacrifice. So he's not talking about obeying. He's talking about that one that's sacrificing to do his will. That's foul. God don't want that garbage. Let me see, okay, all right, yeah. You might well just go ahead and stay where you at. Because if we deal on the foundation of truth, you're supposed to test it. Scripture tells you that. Test it. But you know if it's true or not. But your flesh don't want to do it. And you know it. It's never going to want to do it. If you stay in the flesh, you are never going to have peace doing the will of God. You're just passing time. And God looking at your works as witchcraft. Well, what's next, Lord? Lord, test me, Lord. I mean, because, whatever you come with, Lord, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it.
Amen.
Okay, we'll see. But when it comes, so let's look at it. You got obey is better than sacrifice. Okay? That's why when you sacrificing, there's no spiritual maturity. When you obeying, it gives you power to deal with the next situation. Okay? When you obey, that means that your spirit has already subjected itself to the way of God, and you don't care what it is. If God said it, it's done. And I'm telling you, it's giving you power in your walk. All right? But if you sacrifice it, and that's why I'm showing you, you really don't want to do it. You don't agree with it. You don't believe that. You're looking at what everybody else doing. But you go ahead and do it anyway, because you want to keep yourself looking like you're in right standing. And I'm showing you, that's no good. You're not going to grow. You're going to be as blind as a bat in the spiritual realm. You're not going to understand nothing. Things are not going to be clear. And you'll find yourself on that path, and you always just don't never understand nothing. Because you had a problem with something in the past that you sacrificed to. You didn't obey it.
All right.
You did it as a sacrifice, and that sacrificial spirit is still in you.
Okay.
So when the new knowledge comes, when the future comes, and a situation comes, you don't have the power to see it to make the right decision. That's what the king did. Instead of him doing what God said, he fixed it up in his own mind and found something good that would make it look like he did what God said. But he didn't agree with what God said. God said, kill everybody. But the king, we can use the king. Oh, my men can eat. That's a good thing. You see how he rationalized it? Okay? So like I explained to somebody earlier, I said, let me show it to you. See, when you do something in obedience, you're in agreement with it. Now, we're supposed to test everything, so you assess it, okay? All right, and we can put it on a scale, okay? It could be something as simple as washing the dishes, all right? Or making a faithful move like taking the perm out the hair. Okay, we put it on that scale. The washing the dishes should be simple. If it's your duty to wash the dishes, why are you mad because you gotta wash the dishes? Why are you upset? That's flesh that's upset. Or with the hair thing. Man, I'm gonna look crazy. And they don't talk about me. So you're concerned more about what they saying than what God said. You know why you able to do that? Because you don't believe God. And you think He's going to give you His Spirit that's going to guide you in your faithful walk. No, you're walking in the flesh, and flesh is leading you to a pit. That's right. And if you don't understand this now, I'm telling you, you need to be falling on your knees. Lord, not me, Lord. I want to be saved. I want to be set free. Because if you don't want it, God's not going to bother with you. It's a gentle and quiet spirit. He's a leader. He just walks. And I'm telling you, the righteous, okay, they run to Him. Because they know, He knows the way. I'm getting behind the Lord. Amen. Amen. Them folks not going to understand why you're doing what you're doing because they lost. And when your good in life start manifesting like God said, because He's weeding out all that garbage from your past. That's how it is for a born-again person. God got to weed that sin out your life. But when you believe, and you got people on the side of you that believe, you got people behind you that believe, you got